Do you guys want to hang out with me while I get ready and we talk about how we went from this to this and this to this and a little bit of this to this and maybe even this to this. Also, we are having another giveaway in today's video, so stay tuned for that. Friends, did you know that beauty is neuroprotective? Yes. Neuroscience reveals how beauty rewires the brain. So if beauty is rewiring the brain, one could argue that the lack of beauty could also rewire the brain. If human beings are designed to create beauty by the inspiration of God and be moved by beauty by the inspiration of God, if some powers that be wanted to break the human spirit, there'd be multiple ways that they could do this. But one of the ways would be to slowly remove creativity and beauty from our surroundings. It's almost like we're being pushed farther and farther away from our original design, because the farther we are from our original design, we will be more prone to depression and anxiety, lack of motivation, and apathy. And if human beings are apathetic, we are what? We are easier to control. Bear with me, folks. I'm 40. I have all these things. Most of my products here are from Clara and Fritz, which is part of our giveaway today, but I do have the vitamin C brightening serum from Levin Rose, which is my favorite vitamin C serum in all the land. But almost everything else here, I believe, including the hand salve, castor oil, the serums, you can see that my Radiance serum is used within an inch of its life. The Serenity serum is going to be part of the giveaway today. So part of my theory is that they began to change our surroundings to make us more controllable and to dampen the human spirit. It also removes the aspect of individuality and creativity, which is very much built into the human spirit. We see how God put his spirit inside of a creative, a craftsman. When he was doing things in the tabernacle, God breathes aspects of his creativity. He is the ultimate creator, obviously. And so he breathes aspects of his creativity into his creation. That's why all the old architecture and the antiques we see, they had little things that showed who the craftsman was behind them. They would leave little marks and designs and things behind to leave their signature because their craft was their reputation. There was so much individual creativity in everything around us. And now what do we notice? Have any of you noticed? Everything is becoming the same. The houses, the building, the bridges, the trends, the clothing trends, the makeup trends. They want clones of everything. And of course, this is an assault on us, but I actually believe that this is a rebellion against the Almighty Creator who designed everything to be beautiful and specific and have his signature on it, including us. We have his fingerprint and his signature all over us. So of course they also want to make us all the same. What do you see now when you open social media? They're trying to have all the women look the same.
Me, or do all these girls now look the same? The Kardashianification of women.
Do the same filter and makeup and have this very specific, almost non-human look to them. Green tea, very good for you, anti-inflammatory. I saw the other day that there is a trend where young people feel like it's cringy and embarrassing to try. I honestly don't know how we convinced all of these young people of that, but I actually think that that's sad. And I don't think you have to be, fully done to the nines every time you leave the house. But when people used to go out and they'd even go to the grocery store, people dressed for success. It actually does have an effect on the human nervous system and the human soul and the human body, and sometimes even our immune systems. This is also not this one that I'm touching, but a fresh one is also going to be part of the giveaway today. This is the Orange Cream Whipped Tallow Balm. Orange is one of the best winter scents. Fight me about it. It's one of the best winter scents. We're gonna watch a few clips, and as always, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this topic in the comments below. Am I crazy? Am I making this up? Are you noticing this too? Let me know in the comments below.
The reason that modern art and architecture is ugly and soulless is because they hate you and they don't want you to believe in God. The thought and philosophy behind modernism rose in the late 19th and early 20th century as a reaction against classical traditional aesthetics and values. And that's why you get things like brutalism style buildings or abstract art, streetlights and curbs and cars that look ugly. Communist art and architecture and clothing and everything in between was meant to specifically eliminate individualistic style, uniqueness, beauty, anything that sort of sparked any joy or creativity. Postmodernist thought is mostly focused on the idea that there is no such thing as objective truth, or at least there is no way of obtaining objective truth. Therefore, you should just stop looking. Everything is meaningless. You create your own meaning in your life. Everything is individually interpreted. This is where you get the modern horror of abstract art and abstract architecture, abstract anything, because it follows no form or function. It has no meaning. It has no soul. And ultimately, this was not only the greatest affront to tradition, but to God, because you're basically saying that no objective meaning exists, no objective authority exists, and God is both of those things.
It was harder to make this. We had less technology, less resources to build and design these things, yet we were still doing it.
I feel like part of this is gaslighting. I know that word is overused. They started using very cheap materials. We all know that. Now getting materials that used to be very normal for things like wood that was just everybody's cottage and house had beautiful hardwood floors, and that was the norm. But now that it's not the norm, you're going to pay top dollar. You're going to pay top dollar for real stone, real wood. I feel like they slapped the label of modern. Now modern, I'm not knocking anyone if that's your jam. Modern and sleek is not my aesthetic. I feel like a lot of it feels cold and uninviting to me. And I like things that feel warm and cozy and moody. I just don't want to feel like I'm in the break room at a dentist office in my living room. It's not my thing, but it was obviously a huge thing for a while where everyone wanted to update everything. So I feel like they used the word modern to gaslight everyone into getting okay with cheap renovations, cheap materials, cheap clothing, and being okay with losing that individuality, which I'm happy to see is coming back in interior design, and having everyone's stuff and clothes look the same. I will say this next one to me is a different level of audacity. Okay? It's a different level of audacity. I actually took this personal. I feel like what are we doing? Why are we messing with the Home Alone house? I need answers.
For the first time in 12 years, this home is for sale, and wait till you see the transformation. Everyone remembers this staircase. And the hectic kitchen layout.
You could have just, if you just left one thing alone, you could have just left the staircase alone. You could have just left the staircase alone. That's all I'm saying. I also feel like being an adult is finally realizing the tax bracket that the McAllisters.
Well, it isn't so hectic anymore. And the scary attic isn't so scary anymore. It's actually a beautiful bedroom now. Piece of American history for $5.25 million. Comment down below. What do you think?
Why has all of the color gone out of the world? I see memes like this constantly comparing the same house in 1990 to present day. Cars, where there's a comparison with cars in the past, you had every color of the rainbow, where modern day it's white, black, gray. I feel like all of these are dancing around a broader consumer preference for less color in everything.
I love the smell of all like pine, spruce, fir oils, and I also love the smell of eucalyptus. And that is what this salve smells like.
Why is the world so ugly and boring today? We used to build like this, and now we build like this. Detail and decoration matter because they're beautiful and they express an identity. But this has no identity. It just exists, prioritizing function over beauty. Ornamental detail was viewed as wasteful. Local artisanship gave way to mass production in distant countries, and globalization killed regional identity. And we ended up living in IKEA's world, where everything, everywhere, looks the same.
We obviously can't control all of this, but I do think that we can try to bring as much beauty into our life as possible, as God allows us to, and to stop and take the time to see what's still beautiful. I will often just look at something and say, there are still beautiful things in this world, God, and I never want to forget it. When God changes the leaves in the fall and the way he puts the stripes on the flowers in the spring and the way that the birds sound in April and that first snowfall, I just never want to forget the beautiful things that he puts in place. And I also want to say that despite what the trends are, to not be afraid to embrace beauty, whether it's visual beauty, sound beauty, beauty that you bring into a space with the way that you speak to people and the way that you behave. Don't be afraid of beauty just because it's not popular. If that makes any sense. If the music moves your soul, enjoy it. It doesn't have to be what's popular. If the color for the walls moves your soul, it doesn't have to be what's trending. Enjoy it. Do the thing that brings beauty into the space. I feel like these are little ways that we acknowledge the creativity of the Almighty inside of us and choose to continue to value beauty in a world that doesn't value it the same way anymore, and understand how much this affects us. When we as human beings go against the design that has been put inside of us, there is a very complex design that was breathed into us when we were knit together in our mother's womb. And when we go against that design, there are consequences. There are physical health consequences. There are mental consequences. There can be spiritual consequences. I would argue that the enemy wants things ugly. You know, he was one of the most beautiful angels in heaven before he rebelled against the living God. Because he got demoted, I would argue that he wants us to live surrounded by what's ugly and what's oppressive to the human spirit, the human mind, and the human body. However and wherever we can bring bits of beauty into the world, let's make a conscious effort for that. Remember that it's neuroprotective, which is so important for our children, for ourselves to be fully present in whatever God is calling us to do. So I will link everything that I use today, and if I have discount codes, which I do have for a lot of this, for 11 Rose, like the vitamin C serum, I have a discount code from them that's usually in my description box. The tallow lipstick here, Simple Sophistication, I have a discount code for them, and Clara and Fritz, I have a 15% discount code for them. The giveaway is I am giving away one of the 4-ounce orange cream whipped tallow bombs and the Serenity face serum. So all you have to do is comment beauty in the comments below by this date and time, and you will be entered to win. And then, as always, check back on the community wall when I announce the winner. One of my books, The Lost Art of Living, delves into this. If you feel like you are a person that values the old ways and you are just looking for something to soothe your mind and verbalize the things that you've been feeling, you might enjoy my book. I have 3 books out right now. These are them. I worked really hard on these this year, guys. I can't even believe I got all of these out this year. It was the goal, came in by the wire. The Redeeming Wealth one just came out, but it happened, and I'm so thankful. So if you're interested in more information about this or anything about me, you can find all that on my website at faithfullegacyliving.com. You can also find me on Instagram and some other places. My Amazon storefront's in the description box. I just want to let you all know that I appreciate you. You are beautiful. Thanks for getting ready with me today, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'd love to know what you think about this topic. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you, beautiful and precious souls, right here on the next one. Bye, friends.